And yeah, even the text I need to get away. Yeah, because I don't have scene switcher. I have just need to do everything manually so far. But yeah, we are in for the first game, and that is definitely looking like normal Arabia. The dry version, it definitely is. Okay, so CZ's not really wanting to reveal anything this early into the tournament. And basically the first appearance of them, they haven't played in the round of 1 to 8. They are just right now entering in the round of 64. And well, I'm definitely going to be curious how they are going to be trying to steal. Now, this is kind of funny. And is it actually possible? No, seems that it's not. Well, if it was, then it would be actually pretty problematic spot potentially to be raided upon. You can just hide the crossbowmen or whatnot archers in there. And yeah, well, good luck dealing with that. That will actually be pretty bad. Pretty bad for the red player, but apparently that's not going to be anything like that. And he's going to be facing against Mango, which is probably not something that you would be all that thrilled about. It's going to be Mayans against Mongols. Scout cavalry potentially and knights against archers. That could be working. That could actually be working for the Mongol. The pockets are going to be Skull as Hans and for the opponent Yellow as Spanish. Well, Hun pocket is kinda better, I would be thinking, even though not that bad either, because of course in the pocket you want to go for the fast castle, and that definitely will mean, as we are looking at the steal, exactly see that stealing. I just need to do that in every map. We would be looking at, yeah, pretty fair and safe advancing through Castle Age for the Conquistadors for Cemental, so we should definitely be expecting some kind of strategy like that. But I'm also looking at right now at the minimap, as we are going to be just following if he does make a mistake or not. As they're getting terribly close. It was almost looking like that he's actually gonna make a mistake. Getting too far away from the bar. And as we are in here, I'm just going to put in the other thought on hold a bit. We are looking at fairly unfortunate gold and stone. Because it's in the front of his base, both of them. And it's on the hill. So potentially if he's surprised by some kind of tower rush or whatnot, well, that could definitely be quite nasty for him. And he's already moving into the front. This is kinda curious platform, to be honest. Definitely, if he's under pressure by some archers, it could be kinda tricky. But since he is against a Mongol, I really expect that it's going to be just scouting cavalry, and he should be the one with the archers as the Mayan. So yeah, probably not really that much of a problem for him. Second boar in here at the top, so far not really scouted by red, even though he is aiming there. He has discovered the boar on the left. And looking at the minimap, so far not seeing any other potential stealing. Blue is right next to teal, so I'm going to be having a quick look in there. If he's attempting to do something, not really anything significant, but maybe at least trying to annoy a few of these guys. But right now he's probably just opting for a bit more scouting, so that his start to the game is going to be as easy as possible. Bit of a pause, maybe debating, well, 4:53, so they cannot already call array. That's up to 4 minutes, if I remember correctly from yesterday, where actually the opponent, Spain A, wanted to call array after Czech Republic B actually double stole a board from them, but they were a bit too late, and we are just going to be following up on the thought from a bit earlier, and that's relics. Looking at the relics, they are definitely nicely positioned for the Peruvians. That's one quite nicely cut off by this tree line. This is actually quite opportune for him. Definitely nice to see. There's the second relic and the third relic. So basically 3 relics could be more or less considered right now for the Peruvians team. But otherwise, you could also be saying that those 2 at the top are for the CZs, fairly safe, like totally safe. There's absolutely no way that the opponents are getting in there. So even though they are just 2, the total safety is going to be just a bit better for them. So this is definitely a long pause. I would be really thinking that they are debating if they can actually restart. Well, yeah, they cannot. We know that. But we are having 3 minutes and 30 of delay. So hopefully it's not going to be just some kind of restart and whatnot, but we are at least having a lot of time to look around. As for example, right now Skull in the pocket, not really having any kind of problem, already even pushing Deer inside his base and doing quite a good job at that, even though this last one apparently is having different ideas about getting eaten. Yeah, right now trying to run away somewhere. So we'll have to do a whole lot better. In the meantime, of course, the pocket position seems to be quite alright for Skull because he's having back gold and back stone. Definitely gonna help him quite significantly. Another stone in the back. And other gold seems to be in the front in, well, pretty decent numbers to be honest. 3 big gold mines, or rather big gold mines. It's not the double spots that you sometimes get, so this are basically middle ones, which is still quite a lot. And though might make it a bit interesting for the Wallin, because this is wide open and he might be open to raiding from Peru Cemental in the castle age, so he will definitely have to be worried and wary about that. Once that time actually comes for him. Red aiming to the top, so basically missing the boar, or not really being interested in that, doesn't really matter all that much, it's just one boar, and he does have at least one sheep left. This one is just getting a bit decayed, but otherwise hunt in the front, kinda useless stone behind the tree line, gold in the front, gold as well, so it's at least the same for both full attack and mango, not really any kind of advantage for either of them, but this little prison for the sheep, yeah, well, that doesn't help him, together with the fact that he already lost the boar. And that actually is pretty significant because he's the Mongol. And I have seen in another match in RTS League about 2 seasons ago, when the Mongol was actually stolen a boar from, the pocket player sent him his own boar. But this definitely is not happening in here. And well, since Mongol does have the advantage of the hunt, and of course, well, having comfortable Mongol playing in your team is basically one of the keys to success in Arabia. It should be something that the Peruvians should have done, but they opted not to do so, and of course that will mean that full attack will not be having a very nice early game. Still pause. Gonna right now check into game move, what's happening. Everybody's still into game. Some talk in the spectator chat about a potential bug, but it's in Spanish, so I have absolutely no idea what they're saying. Well, yellow so far looking inside his base. Is he going to be better protected? Definitely. He's going to be having much better base than Skull. Even though he does have front gold, he has quite an easy way to actually wall himself in through the stragglers, through the cacti and whatnot, on the right side as well. And on the left it's going to be really quite easy for him to use even the bit of the gold in here as we are resuming the game. So yep, this stone is not bad for the castle in the castle age for the Spanish, so really pretty nice base for the pocket, and Skull will definitely be having a bit more problems than the yellow player in there. Looking also at right now the teal player, front gold yet again, fairly open, not really that great for him, he definitely won't be happy about this that much. His Hans should be able to defend himself as a flank, but looking how Error is also having quite forwardish position of both the stone and the gold. Double gold as well. So yeah, probably doesn't have anything at the back. Well, at least 3 gold at the back in there. Nothing that bad. And 1 on the right side, but still wide open. Very, very wide open. So basically both him and his pocket skull are going to be wide open for potential radiant. So it's going to be up to their skill to somehow manage that kind of deficit of the map spawn. Because overall, it really looks like that it's slightly better for Peruvians, but nothing really all that significant. Because yet again, this is not that easy to wall, and really, I'm just expecting Mango to to totally kill him with archers pretty soon. Already coming for the barracks. Would be... is he actually gonna go right now? The third board for him, that's the last one. Right now, Scout Cavalry coming to have a look what's going to happen, and already right now barracks is coming up, or rather are coming down, and that will mean a bit of a... Is he actually gonna try to annoy the villager? Yeah, I probably should have. He does have room, so it wouldn't be that effective, but at least he would be slowing down the barracks, and it's looking like that Mango is actually gonna go for a bit of a rush, and in that case it would be giving him extra time to defend against what his opponent is going, because of course I'm fairly certain that without the boar and without those 2 extra sheep in there, it might not really be that easy for him to defend against what's gonna come. Okay, even with 2 villages, so this is basically right now panic mode for him. 2 villages to build the barracks, as he's right now expecting the rush coming up, which it definitely is. Hoping that he's going to be able to defend as well. And right now, yeah, there was a bit of a talk. I'm just going to be replaying it because I haven't really noticed it all that much. Can we restore now? We got 2 sheeps back. Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking at right now in here. But I asked for it a bit late. Yeah, it's minute 8. And it's definitely a mistake on their part, because they have scouted it like minute 1 or 2. I remember it looking at this very, very soon as he was gathering it, or rather putting the red scarves on the sheep in there very soon. So that's basically just a mistake on their part. Unfortunate, but yeah, it's just going to be mounting up, and that's maybe the reason, because he didn't later discover the second boar. he basically realized what kind of sick problem it is going to be for him. And that's the reason why he wanted the red, but not going to get it as the wall is coming up fast enough. Yeah, that's very nice wall in, and he's going to be forced to switch to the right side. And of course, right now, full attack is going to be just full on defense mode, not having any kind of chance at all to go into the offensive, and he's going to be hoping that his micro is going to be slightly better. Looking at the Eagle Warrior present, and Scout for Skull actually going to be helping as well. Where is the Red Scout? Quite far away from home. Right now coming there, not really going to be in time for any kind of serious engagement. That's not really all that well played. And let's see a few extra engagements, and definitely, oh well, this was nicely played by Red, because he was having the hill advantage for a moment there above Mango, and it could be really helping him. Right now, Eagle Warrior dead, one Red Militia also, but right now, yep, he misplayed, he messed up, and basically his defenders are kinda dead, and of course, this is just going to be, right now, spiraling out of control altogether, because Mango is going to be clicking into Fuel H right about now, a lot sooner than full attack. He's going to be switching into archers, and then goodbye this gold mine. This is just not going to be safe at all. Quick check on the right, where there's already a bit of scouting going on through, or rather scouting, scout cavalry raiding rather, by Blue, and he has already basically sacrificed the gold mine. He's not really going on the right. Let's switch into Error's point of view. Oh, he doesn't know about it either. Well, that sucks. So that means that he doesn't know about gold. Interesting though that he's going to be playing it this way then. We may be expecting that he might be wanting to somehow build himself like this way, to try and at least somehow slightly protect the gold. But apparently not. But in the meantime, of course, all the scouts that don't cost any kind of gold are just going into the pocket player, who is quite nicely protected already by the palisades and doing a pretty great job of advancing quite fast into the castle age. Probably should be switching already into the stone mine if he wants to get some fairly decent amount of stone, but apparently not yet. And he's going to be switching just for a bit longer right now into green and purple, having a bit of fun still with the gold miners, as Fuel Age is coming in for full attack, but already we should be looking at... Oh, is it actually going to be Archer Range or just Castle? No, Archer Range is coming up. Yeah, that's understandable, but it's almost looking like that actually Mango might be attempting a fast castle at the same time. He definitely is. So it's going to be just... Wow. I'm right now fairly curious if he's maybe gonna attempt even drop a castle on his opponent. Right now with the Archer Range coming up for full attack, it's probably not going to be all that viable. But of course you right now are looking at pretty much the Mongol being out of his standard game. Not really going for the Scout Cavalry, which are basically the standard for him. Going for the archers, and he's just going to be hoping to probably defend with some skirmishers against what is going to be an onslaught of archers from the Mayan pretty soon. In the meantime, Arrow doing a great job in the raiding on the gold. So yep, even though we have said that Cemental shouldn't be having all that many problems defending against any kind of raiding, it should be fairly easy for him to wall in this position. He didn't. And of course right now he's paying for it because he doesn't have gold at the back so far as I have seen. Yeah, he definitely doesn't. Next gold is on the right side. Definitely unsafe as well. On the left as also. Yeah. Not any kind of safe gold right now. And all that actually Arrow needs to do is buy his ally in the pocket enough time so that he can join with the knights. And then, yeah, well, good luck dealing with this Cemental. But, of course, Arrow needs to be safe in his home base as well. Right now with just the spearman it's not going to be enough against all those archers right now from Mr. Tempo. Nicely built tower, of course going to be helping in the defense, but not really anything all that significant. And of course, even though there was a bit of raiding attempted, you can see all the palisades in there of purple scout. I have already seen even some blue scouts in there. Yeah, one flank, second flank already coming in. This is looking quite difficult right now for yellow to handle as he's coming for the town center. And... oh, this might be a bit tricky, but the knights should be really stronger than all those scouts, and really don't expect all that much of a chance that this DC would be stopped, at least at this stage. But still, the damage has been done, and we are going to be switching into the red base to see if he has defended. So far it seems like that he has. Already a crossbowman coming up as the castle age just hit for Mango, and he's going to be producing quite a decent amount of those. Not really interested in the castle just yet. So apparently it's just going to be investment into extra town centers, but maybe a bit later, because it seems like that he definitely smells blood and wants to go for the very early rush, and it seems to be working quite fine because, of course, full attack is still in feudal, not really advancing to the next age yet, and the crossbowman should be just a bit more of an advantage than he could be handling. Nicely built tower, that's definitely gonna be needed to protect this gold mine, which is basically the last lifeline for him, as knights are already coming in from Skull, who is in the castle age, but yeah, it's not like Mr. Tempo would be that far away from the advance, I'm thinking. He should be coming there pretty soon, but he's already right now being doubled, and it's going to be up to yellow to somehow help him defend. But so far not really going for that. Coming for a bit of raiding, as right now Error needs to somehow place down the towers, because this is his only gold mine and it's in the front, and he doesn't have any kind of extra protection above that, which means that those villages are not really that safe, but this tower should be quite enough, and especially with the Wolfie, it really should be fairly easy for him to defend, even though he has lost at least one villager. Not that bad overall. So yeah, a few skirmishes, going to be helping of course against the teal player, and well, next I'm kind of thinking, yeah, already you can see that Skull is going to be helping his teammate, and against those two knights it should be fairly easy to do some significant damage in there. In the meantime, bit of raiding of course by Skull also on red. So he's basically all over the map. He's literally all over the map, helping his teammate Error. Right now, raiding in full attack's base, and he's also raiding in Mr. Tempo's base, so he's absolutely everywhere. And just confirming what I was saying in the game room, that Skull is basically one of the best players as far as team games go, and he definitely shouldn't be underestimated in any game whatsoever. Castlade for full attack. Error and Mr. Tempo still not advancing either, but right now Skull will have to retreat from this position, so that's pretty much it for that. And those Scott Cavalier guys, yeah, well, trying to do something, but unfortunately not really lucky, but there is right now a window. Oh, he has missed it. He has just missed it. There was an opportunity where potentially Teal didn't notice yet, but we are going to be moving back to Blue's base if he is secure, and he definitely seems to be, because of course Skull is helping him as much as he can. In the meantime, Green is just now breaking through the palisades as the second tower is attempted to be built, but a bit too late, and that's definitely not gonna get finished, as even though the tower is having quite significant range at 9, right now those crossbowmen on top of the hill, yeah, they are going to be killing the much weaker archers, especially with the little help of some knights from purple, but they are on the left. These are just from yellow, and that's going to be a bit of help to the red teammate. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate right now for Green, as he will need a few more reinforcements coming in who are still stuck on the left, and this army is just now decimated by a few knights in there. Still a bit more coming on from Cemental, as the tower is just now going to be finished, so that was actually well played by the Peruvians. But yeah, we have to be really quite honest about the fact the CZs are still pushing, still having the advantage, and Castle Age is going to be last for Mr. Tempo and full attack, while Error is still not even hitting the next age. Next age advance, kinda curious. Going to be just quickly checking, but I don't really expect any kind of slinging all that much on Arabia. On the Nations Pack, or rather Nations Cup mod, that have actually nerfed slinging and also wall building, which is the reason why we are not really seeing all that many walls in there. But yeah, he is at least raiding around and hoping that just now he's going to be advancing into Castle Age, and he's buying basically as much time as possible to his teammate Skull, and Skull so far has really been dishing damage all across the map. So that's that, and it seems that basically right now there's going to be a bit of a recess in the activity from the CZs, and oh, this is actually not a bad spot. He didn't want to fight it because of the hill, I'm thinking of the crossbowman. Otherwise this was very nice choke point. It was very nice natural choke point basically done. He would have forced basically deletion of the house, I'm fairly certain about it. And Mango probably expected that that would happen and didn't want to be caught in such a bad situation, but I'm not all that certain that the Peruvians would be thinking about it. But yeah, nonetheless, new university coming up from Mango, and he is going to be ready with pretty decent army, already having upgrades at +2, +1. But looking at the villages, for example, 46 for him, 67 for Skull, 69 already, 46 for Error, full attack, 32. Yeah, well, definitely understandable, because he was rated quite heavily. As right now is for example, blue player, but he does have at least a few defensive towers, but probably not going to be enough, as he needs to somehow help himself. I was just looking if there was maybe some blue attack, but apparently not. I was just looking at something else in the minimap, and that's of course quite significant problem right now for blue, who's going to be losing villages. Yeah, he's right now falling behind, But at least the towers are all across the map, so he does have some time to receive help, either from his own buildings, or of course from his teammate Skull. To finish with looking at the villages, Cemental at 55, Mr. Tempo at 47, the economy is significantly better for CZ, and especially for the pocket player, which is going to be making a significant difference. Because of course that's the Hun, and the Paladins are... Well, not even the Paladins, even just the Cavaliers in the Imperial Age are going to be making a huge difference, as they are right now in here, in their Castle Age form of the Knights. Alright, another flank is attempting to raid a bit in Teal's base. Coming for the 30C already. Seems like that he's actually going to be just building cavalry archers as the Hun. That's going to be unit of choice for him, as of course Peru Cemental is also joining into the fun with the knights of his own, and he has been scouted by Skull, so it's not going to be any kind of huge surprise for him. Okay, these guys gonna die, as Green is right now advancing forward yet again into the pocket player, which is of course understandable, because he has seen that Yellow has sent basically a majority of his units into the Radiant. He has been told by Skull potentially, so he is right now advancing forward with a few support, but little support by those scout cavalry guys, and he should be having his path quite open to potentially go for these gold miners. And even though it might cost him a few villages from the tower and whatnot, which is apparently still garrisoned for no reason right about now, it would be quite advantageous for him and his team overall. And it's also a bit of threat. Okay, so these are just some crossbowmen from full attack who are not right now defending. They are trying to find something to kill, but they are going all the wrong ways. Was hoping to find something next to gold, but down center is nicely positioned from Skull. And of course crossbowmen are arriving in the base, trying to kill as many stone miners as possible, because it's really looking like that Peru Cemental might be right now attempting to gather enough stone for the castle, for the Conquistadors or whatnot. Not really sure, but it's looking like that. Yeah, that was... Oh, wow, that was definitely lucky for Mango. Because for a moment I thought that he's going to be caught by Cemental full on in basically open base. And... Hello, Mangonel. That's going to be surprised from the back. Let's see if he is going to be surprising Mango. He's right now in a very dangerous spot because there are trees and he doesn't have all that many spots to... Oh! He doesn't have all that many spots to retreat from. Well, that was a horrible disaster. That's exactly what I was worried about as soon as I saw those two trees in there. There was just one actually square to run away. So it was just inevitable, kinda. It was just kinda inevitable, and that was one hell of a surprise. Oh man. Well, that hurt. So that was the whole army from Mango. So how's it looking with reinforcement? Bad. Pretty badly, as he's coming for the castle finally. But maybe he just wanted to recycle all his units and switch into the Plundaches in full. Who knows? But yeah, nice hit. Nice hit by full attack. That was a proper vengeance for what Mango was doing for him for basically the first minutes of the game. Nicely played indeed. In the meantime, the momentum is switching from Radiant into Error to Radiant by Error and by Skull into Teal, into Mr. Tempo, and he's yet again denied gold, and he does have extra gold mines at the back, which are pretty much okay, but they are also wide open, so potentially there could be a bit of Radiant to be had for CZs, especially for those knights. Could definitely be easily finding that, but apparently I don't really think that he knows about it all that much. He's right now going to be coming. I'm somewhere else. I'm right now in the blues base. I just want to look here. He does know about the goal, so he should be probably realizing that actually right now there is somebody going to be at the back golds. So a bit of raiding should be coming there, especially since Error is just now having a line of sight on this big gold mine, so knows there's absolutely nothing. So yeah, they should be wondering where the opponents are, because they are so far not really anywhere to be seen for them. And well, Mr. Tempo is using this opportunity, not really being effectively raided by CZs, to go for raiding of his own, but of course the defense is quite well in place. Still a bit of attempt to actually raid with the crossbowmen for full attack. They haven't really found anything all that much, as Mango is paying enough attention right now, hiding, trying to build the market, and of course these crossbowmen are just going to be catching up with them. The upgrades are better for Mango, they are having armor, whereas Red isn't, and of course that will mean it's going to be just a question of time before CZs get rid of all of those guys. Yet, even right now, with a few knights on top of that. Also having second squad of crossbowmen to go for the gold, as Mango is paying enough attention. Definitely nice to see, as he was well on top of that. He was just now fighting at the top, but also paying attention to the bottom. And right now we are looking at, well, kind of interesting stuff. As yet again, Mangonel could be attempting to get a good hit into the crossbowman, but of course right now Skull is in a pretty terrible situation and position, and he needs to retreat because this is not safe for him anymore. Archer range number about 3. Oh, scratch that, about 5. Coming up, so basically just cavalry archers are going to be in huge numbers for tempo. With cavalry being researched for Skull about now, and that will be a pretty big power swing, because of course Cemental is still not in the Imperial Age, he's not even advancing, and even though he's going for chain barding armor for better horses, that's not just going to be enough. And looking at this huge amount of archers and those villagers, this is going to be castle draw by the Mongol, most definitely on top of the gold. We are going to be waiting for, well, very tough situation for the Peruvians, and definitely curious how this is going to be developing. So Mangonel getting at least one shot, not that effective. Oh, that's even more aggressive castle than I was actually expecting. That's way more aggressive than I thought. Well, come on, get away horses right now. It's going to be coming up, and he just wants to kill even the food economy for the Peruvians, and it's definitely going to be succeeding because, of course, the pocket player Skull is, yeah, advancing as much forward as possible himself. Stables and castles coming into the middle of the player, basically full on in there. As yeah, right now, even though Red is not really boarded all that much, he seems to be having just basically kind of equalish game. He knows he is against basically Imperial Age guy, and that means that he's going to be killed pretty soon, and has to be said, Mr. Tempo is just basically dead by this very strong push by CZ. So they defended all the nice raiding by Peruvians, that was nicely played by them, but yeah, they were just waiting for the correct time, and this was very well played pocket position with the hand by Skull. And that's basically the winning condition for CZ. He was with the knights exactly where he needed to be, supplying help to his opponents, or rather to his allies, and that was, well, that is the position, or rather the play that the pockets need to do, and he made it perfectly. So let's check the achievements, as we are looking at 1-0 for the CZs. Skull, yeah, well, just said it, that he was the MVP, most definitely. But the Mangonel shot by full attack, that was highlight worthy, definitely. Well, that was pretty sad to see. For a fan of CZ clan, but of course for the Peruvian fans, that was nice to see. As exactly the opposite of the emotions for Czech Republic. Okay, so GG.